Hi Facebook, it's Gerry. We're coming live today. I have to take these off because they look crazy. We're coming live today from Guanacaste, Costa Rica, and I just want to say that, hey Philip, if you guys have questions at all during this, that we want you to ask them. And again, we're from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica. We have a unique way of conducting retreats here that encompasses metaphysical teachings, sacred plant medicine, and all in this super environment. And we're just happy to have the opportunity today to discuss what goes on here. And this particular broadcast is called About My Miracle. And every week we have between 50 and 100 people that go through this retreat that we have. It's really about miracles, called the Rythmia way. And again, we combine metaphysical teachings with plant medicine to bring about this experience that we believe is unique. About 959 out of every 1,000 people that come through here leave with this miracle. And the miracle's crazy. I'll tell you a little bit about it. But it really is life-changing. I'm going to give you a 1-minute snippet on me. My name is Gerry, Gerard Powell. I was a millionaire, then a multimillionaire. I sold a company for almost $100 million, and I was terribly miserable, suicidal, really suicidal, ready to quit my life, to end my life. And I had this experience of this miracle. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Marina. I have a new system where I can actually see you guys. Hi, Katie. So we're happy that you guys are here, and we're going to talk about this thing. So this miracle happened to me, and it happened through plant medicine. And this is what we do here. This miracle continues to happen to people here, and it works like this. We believe, and I'll tell you why when you get here, but we believe that something happens to you between when you're born and between when you're conceived and about 5 years old. And this thing that happens to you makes you leave yourself to become someone else, leave your soul. And this void that happens is the source of all disease, addiction, disorders, and sadness, this void. And once you mend this, life changes. And it changed for me. And I started this thing. I want to ask you, if you're out there and you think this can help anybody, I'm going to ask you to share it. I want to say hi to my mom today, my mom Shirley in Pocono Manor, Pennsylvania. Hi, Shirley. She's like a very important woman to me, so I'm glad. I hope she's on this Facebook. I hope she is. And I want to say hi to my wife, Brandy. Hi, Brandy in California. I miss you and wish you were here. So I want to talk a little bit about this. So please share this because it's going to be important to people, and especially people that are sad and don't know why. And I'm going to get into that a little bit. So we believe that this sadness that comes is all traceable to this split. And once this split is healed, that everything in your life changes. I'm going to tell you that this thing is real, it's yours, and it's forever. It's real, it's yours, and it's forever. And we're not just talking out of our asses. We track people after they've been here and survey them at 3, 6, 9, and 12 months. And we know for a fact that this thing that you get, you keep. It is yours. What's so funny is the medicine told me that even death can't take it away from you. This miracle. So we have, let's say, this week we had Kyle Cease here. And Kyle's a thought leader, comedian. He's this most wonderful dude, and a friend of ours, and been a friend of ours from the beginning, and will always be. But a great group of people, about 70 people, I think, and everybody that was here got this miracle, or at least I think everybody. If not, 98% of them this week got this miracle. And we're joined by someone. And by the way, when I'm done today, I'm going to answer all these questions. Hi, Kylie. I love seeing these people. The number behind me, if you can't see it, it looks backwards. I wonder why that is. It's 866-936 9446. Hey, Craig from Adelaide, Australia. But remember this number. If you have any questions today about this process or this miracle or what happens here, please call this number. And even if you don't want to book, people are there to answer questions. And I want to tell you something. A lot of us are so frustrated, so fucking frustrated with life. And we've gone to workshops and healers and read 50 books a year on this transformation and all this shit. And for some reason we can't put it together. And the reason why, and this is really what we believe, and we believe there's evidence to it, the reason why is when you leave yourself to become safe, when this split happens and you're 3 years old or 4 years old, and for the rest of your life you're living out of this side. You're living as this person out here. All of the talk therapy in the world can't put this back together. It can't, because this happened on a spiritual level, and then the message that we sent to our brain, our subconscious brain, when we left ourselves, was that I'm not enough. And that works just like autopilot on a plane. So if my autopilot is set to I'm not enough, then what I notice is it's kind of like spinning plates, that if one thing is going good, I go to get the other thing going good and the plate falls. Because I can't get it going all at the same time, because my autopilot is set to I'm not enough. So the moment that I stop thinking and I go to make a salad, now all of a sudden I'm back to, it's pointing back to I'm not enough. And we want to get you out of there, and we can. And I'm trying to figure out which side of the screen, there it is. So that's where I should be looking. Okay, good. Hi, Lorena. Hi, sorry. I'm going to be talking to you guys later and answering all your questions. I love you guys. Victoria, and I'm going to introduce someone today, and she's from Vancouver. No, sorry about that. Ashland, Oregon. I was just thinking about someone from Vancouver Island and how crazy they are about the distinguishing that from Vancouver. They're like, I said, are you from Vancouver? The lady's like, no, I'm from Vancouver Island. She kept telling me the difference. So anyway, Therese, come and join us. Therese is a guest here this week. Please sit down. Come over, Therese. Okay, Therese, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Germany, from Ashland, Oregon.
From Ashland, Oregon. And we had a great talk about Ashland, Oregon. Can I ask you, before you came here, how did you find the Rythmia? How did you find Rythmia?
I found Rythmia through my partner, Paul. He looked it up, and I think he found it also through Kyle Cease, who was here. We both watched his YouTube video, and then we watched your documentary, and that really got me interested in
the Reality of Truth documentary?
Yeah.
That's a documentary that if you haven't seen, you should see, because it puts into perspective some of the things that go on here. Yeah. And let me ask you this, what type of spiritual life did you have at home? Like you're a meditator, or you're... I'm a meditator. I did yoga for a long time, and I got a lot out of that. I enjoyed it a lot. Most important for me was my meditative practice. I did a yoga training, and I did that because I wanted to have a regular practice. And I still do a little yoga, but mostly is my meditation, and I do that right when I wake up in the morning. And you're an everyday meditator? Everyday meditator. Fantastic. Yeah. And so when you decided to come here, where most people have, even though they're happy and excited and da-da-da-da, number one, you're coming to a strange country. Number two, you probably saw on YouTube, you research ayahuasca and you see people like puking and shitting and crying. So there was probably a little bit of fear in you, or no? Well, you know what, the puking and the shitting didn't really bother me that much because I'm a nurse and I deal with that every day. So, yeah, I mean, sure, I had some anxiety about it. Mostly my anxiety and my fear was more about what this is actually going to do to me. And so tell me about that. Yeah, so your fear from being a nurse probably is like, what is my physical response to this going to be? Is that what your fear was?
Yes, my physical response, because I'm
Mhm.
somebody who grew up not really taking anything. I have never taken any drugs. I don't
Uh-huh.
smoke. I hardly drink any alcohol. I haven't done any drugs, and so I was always very resistant to it.
Uh-huh.
And just listening to the documentary and listening to people talk about it and their experience, and then knowing that I'm coming to a really safe place,
Uh-huh.
I felt incredibly safe here. And,
Uh-huh. Even when you came, like, did you come on the bus? I'm going to move this just a little. Did you come on the bus?
No, we came with a taxi.
With the taxi?
With a taxi.
Not our taxi, the
Right.
other taxi
Yeah, the
from
taxi,
thing.
right.
And when you got here, did you feel like nervous, or did we make you feel welcome, or what was the?
I was nervous, and I was looking around at everybody and looking at people's faces, and they all looked okay.
Uh-huh. They all looked okay. Well, we fool people like that. That's how
Yeah.
that's how we get them in.
I felt very welcome, though.
You felt welcome.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
And so you go to the class on Monday, and you hear this thing, who have I become? Merge me back with my soul, heal my heart, and then you hear about this medicine and what it's going to be like.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go back to your room. Then you have Kyle Cease for 2 hours, so you laughed your ass off. And then you went up there and you drank the medicine. And tell us what that was like.
The experience drinking the medicine.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
everything from its taste,
I didn't like the taste really,
Uh-huh.
but I clearly wanted to do it. I was in a place where I really wanted to do it, and I wanted to just work my shit out.
Uh-huh.
I needed to work on myself, and so I was clear that I'm going to do it.
uh-huh.
And yes, I was scared drinking it, but yeah, and I puked.
Uh-huh. And so here's the thing, right? So you drink the medicine, you get sick to your stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see anything? Tell me what your first experience that night.
My first experience that night, I got nauseous.
Uh-huh.
There was a lot of nausea there, and I had a pretty big night that first night where I got to a place where it was all about my dad, really. I mean, initially it was my mom involved, but because I was looking for connection and love with my mom, because
Uh-huh.
I never connected with her
Uh-huh.
growing up. She was kind of distant and it was not there, so I asked for that. But my dad actually came into the picture.
Your dad came into the vision.
Yes.
And
saw it.
said, "Is your dad alive?"
No.
Okay. And what did he say to you? Or what was the exchange?
Yeah,
about?
no, he didn't talk to me. He was there, and I threw up. Actually, I did throw up, and then my dad came.
Ah, okay.
So I did throw up, and then I asked, what is that? You know, what did I
So you
throw
threw up and then you asked the bucket.
Yes.
What was that?
What was that?
And what did they say?
So it said that this is the childhood suffering from my dad.
Wow. Wow.
And
Wow.
I guess that I had that in me, and he carried that his whole life.
Uh-huh.
His whole life, he carried that.
And then he put some of that into you?
I
That
guess
suffering?
so. Yeah. I don't
Without knowing it? Just
Mhm.
like we do with children, like this is
Mhm.
this is what goes on.
Yeah.
And then so later that night, did you drink again?
I drank again. I want to say one more thing. When
Yeah.
after I puked, and I realized that that's what it was. Actually, my neck pain went away. My back pain went away.
Wow.
My dad had neck pain and back pain.
How beautiful.
And
is
that-
that?
That disappeared.
Huh.
And I've been looking for it, and I can't find it. The pain.
How beautiful is
Not
that?
there anymore.
So there's like lots of additional stuff that goes on
A lot of
in addition to the primary,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you drank again that night,
I did.
and then what happened? Anything that yours memorable? Or no?
Not in particular. I know there was a lot of other things happening. I
Uh-huh.
put it all
That's
down.
okay. Don't worry about that.
But, yeah.
So the second night happens.
Uh-huh.
So now we go back up. So the next day you spent processing.
Mhm.
Tuesday,
Mhm.
you brought in the morning processing, and your partner was here,
Mhm.
and he had his own night. Which, by the way, he's a heart painter, and I'll tell you about that later. Then that day you go up at night, drink the medicine again, and then what was the second night like?
The second night was a little less intense
Uh huh.
compared to the first night. I had a lot of visions. I had, you know, connections with my daughter, and there was a lot of things that I wanted to clear, and so a lot of little things. And I also had like little beings come to me and work on me.
Okay, so we have something here called sacred surgery. So here's how sacred surgery works. So, and it sounds crazy, right? Celestial surgery or sacred surgery, and it happens to 78% of the people here. So almost 8 out of 10. So when you start working on putting yourself back together, this thing here, your body wants to repair itself, because once you're in here, your body's perfectly designed to stay healthy and disease-free when you're in here. So as you start going together, the body wants to heal itself. And usually, this thing called sacred surgery, the way that it starts is our mouth starts to get numb, and then the roof of our mouth especially, and then beings will appear. What kind of beings did you have there?
It was just a bunch of little light beings.
Yeah, little
that
guys.
were just like crawling all over me and inside of me. It was beautiful. I loved it.
It's beautiful, right? So this actually happens here. Hey, Miles, this actually happens here. So they go in and they start working on what? Do you know?
I remember they went into my stomach. I did have a pain in my stomach. That was, I think it was after my daughter came in. I did have pain in my stomach, and after that, that's when they came. Isn't
that beautiful, though? So they come in and they do corrective and preemptive medicine. It's just crazy stuff. It's just what happens. So that's night 2, right? The second night.
I believe that was night 2.
And night 3 rolls around, and now, so what we work on here is 3 things. Like as a group, we work on showing me who I become, because your soul doesn't want to merge back with you until it knows that you're not going to keep doing the same thing. And it can't know that until you realize your own patterns. So show me who I become, merge me back with my soul, and heal my heart. So these are the things that we're collectively working on. So by Wednesday night, now Wednesday's night is ladies' night, which means the ladies drink for free. It's not what it means. Hey, here's the thing. But Wednesday night's ladies' night, and tell me what happened on Wednesday with all the women.
Wednesday was definitely my biggest night of all, and that's where I really had my my heart experience.
So tell me what that was.
With a new heart. It started out with my mom coming in, and I puked again, and I threw up. My mom actually appeared on a pillar only with her head, and I asked her, "Where's your body?" And she said, "It's not working anymore."
Oh, wow.
My mom has she has MS. She's still alive, actually.
How beautiful
MS,
is this?
and she
so that was her soul coming to you, yes?
Yeah. So that's what she said, and I asked her,
wow.
what's wrong with it? And I really wanted to see and know why. I mean, what happened? What's wrong with your body? And she said, "Oh, there's so much shit in my body. I can't. It's not working anymore." And I kept asking, and she eventually said it's just like there's stuff accumulated in that from eons of time, whatever that meant, but from
I love that.
Like a long time. And so I had to go through that experience, and I'm fine now. She always tells me she's fine.
And she said she's fine.
Yeah. She's
fine. And did you get sick that night?
Yeah.
Did you have diarrhea? Tell the world.
No, not that night. But I that's what I puked that up.
You puked it up.
I puked that one up, and yeah, it felt pretty big.
Well, but with the thing with your mom, the attachment to, which is so normal, right? Yeah. And then so at some point in this, you had a soul merger, and do you remember when that was, or do you just remember the heart healing? Because
yeah, my heart healing came after.
That's how it goes. So soul merger. And tell me, do you remember any parts of the soul merger, or do you remember just when the heart was getting fixed?
I think I'll tell you.
Tell me.
At some point, there's music involved there too, and
yeah.
that has triggered a lot of things, or changed the scene. And so what happened was that the music started, and I wanted to dance, so I started dancing, and I invited my family in, and so my closest family came in first, and Paul was there, my partner, and my daughter, and my brother, my sisters. They all came in, and they all gathered around me in a big circle, and we all danced to that music, and they were talking from their hearts, and their eyes were open and bright, and they were smiling and laughing at me, and it was just truth. It was the full truth that they gave me, because I don't think I ever got that from them. Just full on truth of love that they gave back to me, and they looked into my eyes, and as I was looking at people, more people came in, like all my ancestors came in, my grandparents, both sides, people that have passed, my aunt, and it was just a huge circle, 50, 100 people were there. Just like each one looked right into my eyes and smiled, gave me the truthful smile, love, and I was able to just so take that into my heart, and my heart opened.
And so then in that, you told yourself the truth about you too?
Yeah.
About who you were? And
I was able to receive it.
That's a soul merger.
Yeah.
So then after that, so this goes in sequence, not in parallel. So it goes, you see who you become, then you have an event like this that merges you back with your soul, because there's only truth left. And then the last piece of it, because being human, and if you're over 5 years old, you already have a broken heart. So there's something that the medicine does when it knows that your soul's merged, and it has to come in and heal your heart. So tell us a little bit, if any, do you have a memory of it healing your heart? Do you remember how that happened, or did it just, was it part of
that whole experience, that energy that flew just right into my heart, and I felt like my heart was opening up. Like, it was just so open, and I so felt my energy drop down here, and I'm still feeling it. I still actually just, like, especially today, I still feel like I'm like it dropped down here. Like
so
my consciousness is down here now.
So, and when you say that, I'm going to show you something. So in this thing here, this is actually an ankh here. It's this thing here, right? This is the start of this thing here. It's when these two come together, there's an X here, and it's an ankh. And when this has happened to you, this miracle happens to you, you feel as if you're living from here. Do you get that?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like I couldn't push you over if I wanted to, because you're right, boom, you're right there, right?
Yeah.
And it's a feeling, and the thing is, I was talking to your partner today, and he told me some wild shit, by the way, which was amazing. And I was like, yeah, you're not going to say that to your barber, right? You're not going to sit down, and because he died. He's sitting right here. He had a death experience. And I said, well, that's a really bad way to start a story. Hey, I died. But it's the most perfect thing. So in this feeling, can you do your best to just explain the difference? So, like, you've done a lot of spiritual work. All the yoga, all the meditation, all the stuff. The feeling of really being here versus other things that you've tried. Can you talk about it a little bit? Like,
it's a world of difference. It's a world of difference. I did retreats several times, and with anything that I did so far, was not able to get to go there at all. I mean, I wouldn't want to say at all, but I was not able to go there where I am now. You can't put it
can
into
I tell you
words.
this? There's a beauty in your eyes and like a peace in you, and it's gorgeous. You're just amazing. I can't wait to see what you do as you go. Because you're a beautiful woman. What I want to talk about is this too. Like, to have that experience happen to you, you could say, "Oh my God, this is it. It happened to me." But in closing today, I bet there were 60 people in that room, and to a person, Were you shocked at how many people got that?
I feel blessed. I so feel blessed that so many people were willing to go through that experience. I was like, wow, this is unbelievable, and I'm so grateful that you are doing this.
Thank you. I'm so shocked every week when we're going and everybody got it. Mm-hmm. It's always a shock to me, and I'm like its biggest proponent. It happened to me. It happened to my wife. It happened to everybody we know, my kids. Mm-hmm. Like, this is what we do. But every week when it occurs and I see people like you, and when they're leaving and everybody's crying or telling their story or saying how it changed their heart and their life, and they're ready to go home, it gives me, I get so, it breaks me down, because it's the most beautiful thing. I was saying to your partner, I said that I'm the luckiest fucking guy in the world. I don't know anybody who has a job where they get to see this every week. This is the most beautiful thing in the world. And the greatest part is, it's yours. Like, it's really yours. Most people, after they get this, they go, oh my God, I wonder if I'm going to lose it. I wonder if I'm going to lose it. I wonder if I'm going to lose it. And you don't lose it. This is not something you lose. This is yours and yours forever. So if you have any questions for Therese, or if you have a question for us, please put it on the screen and we'll do our best to answer it. I do want to ask one question myself. When people get here, most people are afraid. Mm-hmm. And I want to say something to you, because I don't want to lie to anybody. This is one hard week. This is not like rainbows and unicorns from Monday through Saturday. This is really a hard week. And I think it's important that people know before they come that this is work for a very select bunch of people. When I say select, that's not an elitist term. What I mean is people who are willing to go through this with their heart and to expose themselves completely and to throw themselves at the feet of the medicine and to really, really, really do this. And by Wednesday, most people, was there any point within here that you got, this is too hard?
Sure, yeah. Like Thursday, like the Thursday night was really hard, and I was excited to do it, but then after the first drink, it was darkness, and I had the feeling like, how can I get out of here? It's like, this is too much. It was all the feelings that came up, my habits and patterns, somehow they came up, and I realized that, I noticed that when I was in the experience, and it was just too much. I was like, oh my God, I want to look at that. Yep.
But you did.
But I did.
Yes.
I did.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So the people that want to put themselves through this, and I'm going to tell you something. If you do this right, if you do it right, that the medicine is going to break you down. This isn't a Zig Ziglar sell baby. You're fantastic. This is all going to work. This isn't that kind of place. This is a place that deals with your shadow, and the shadow that's been driving your actions that you don't even know about. So what this medicine does is it breaks you down. And when I say it breaks you down, there's not too many people, including myself, who don't cry at the thought of what this medicine does to you. It deconstructs the whole thing. And then it rebuilds you. And that's why when people get here, they get off their bus and they're like, is this going to be okay? Which it's not. It's a crazy week. And then when they're going, they look like this. And that is the difference. That's the thing that's the thing that makes this worth doing. That's what makes this worth doing. So like, if anybody has a question there, I'd love to answer. If you feel like a snake pit on your journey, will someone be with you? Okay, so if you see something super scary on your journey, will someone be with you? Yes and no. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. So yeah, there's a bus that picks you up from the airport, yes. But on your journey, you see some scary shit. It's like you can only die alone. You can't bring someone in your death with you. So when you see some scary shit, you can open your eyes, and if you're lucky, it'll go away. If you're not, it's going to stay there. And you can raise your hand, but nobody can make you unsee that. So in this, and the idea of it is to deconstruct you, to tell you everything. We had a woman today that said she saw like war and she loves the national park system, and she watched all of them melt down and evaporate, and to her it was the end of the world. And that's exactly what the medicine does. The medicine wants you to disassociate with everything that you identify with, so that you get to the point where there is nothing left but you. And when you get to you and there's nothing there other than love, and you realize that you are everything, then all of a sudden in that minute, boom, that's when it starts to rebuild. And it's just amazing stuff. Will you still things like that after? Yeah, so here's the thing. And I think that Grace is asking, will that stay? So, like, will you still have things like that after your experience? So the medicine goes away, but what it did to your brain stays. Will you still see things like that? It depends. Some people for a period of time, but some people not. The great thing is that she reconnected with her soul, right? Because the rest of her got drunk. You got drunk.
Yeah.
Your ego got drunk.
Oh,
Your ego got drunk, and your soul started talking, and it spoke to you through your 150 relatives, telling you how much love you were.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's the thing. So that soul agreement came, and you made that soul agreement. So that's a connect. But then at the same time, the medicine was rewiring how your brain fires. Mm-hmm. So the medicine will leave, but what happened to you will stay. And that's why the moon said, and this is a whole other story, which you'll put me away in a straitjacket, but the moon said that you can't undo it, you can only rescrew it. So once you do this, you're good to go, and it stays with you. It stays with you. So is there another question here? Let's see if somebody has another question. I'm sure one will come up here in a second. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about this while I'm waiting for the next question. The coming to Rythmia. So when we started this, my wife and I, and this place was bought in 2014, and we're in 2016. What year are we in? 18. So 15, we bought this place. So we've only been open 2 full years. I've never used hallucinogens before. I've used marijuana, but nothing else. Don't worry about it. It'll be...
Me neither.
She doesn't even drink much. So, I mean, that works. But when we started this, the first year there were 400 people here. Last year there was about 1,500. This year there's going to be about 3,000, and we're already selling out. So if you can pick a date and come, what made you choose Zaya as the medicine of your choice versus Iboga? Okay, here's the thing. So initially, I did Iboga. And Iboga is the one that told me to use ayahuasca. It's a thing. So Iboga told us to use ayahuasca because what if you have a panic attack? You probably are going to have a panic attack. And that's kind of what's in the process for you. So you can have that. Okay, Victoria, I will not forget your name. We'll see you here, Victoria. But having a panic attack is part of the process. Every time I do the medicine, I have a panic attack. Is there some age limit for Aya? I want to tell you something. There's a lady, and she's 84 years old, and she outdrinks me. And not that I'm a big ayahuasca drinker, but she can outdrink me, and she's 84. I saw her do 6 ceremonies, 1 a night for 6 nights when we used to do 7. What happens if I try to bolt? Susan, it depends how big you are. If I can tackle you, you're not getting out of here. No, but some people really do try to. So 1 out of about every 1,000 people actually leave on Wednesday. So for every 1,000 people, 1 will leave. if you try to leave, we're going to try to get you to stay. And that's the truth. I saw Claudia said, are there different types of medicines? Yeah, there are different types of medicines. Well, yeah, Brandy, my wife just said the grandfather is 110 years old, and he's still drinking ayahuasca. You're 4'11"? Susan, you're not getting out of here. We'll stop you. We will stop you. I've watched every video that's been done for me. I'm ready to take. I wish I knew how to. Oh, wait a second. I wish I knew how to do this. I'm going to see something. How do you make this appear bigger? I'm going to have to learn how to do this because it says, I've watched every video that's been done for you. I'm ready to take ayahuasca, and I can't see what else it says. So I want to tell you, there's a new Edgar, we're not just talking about this. Tell them about your movie, Brandy. Yes, so I have a new movie called, Brandy, what's the name of that? Mrs. Moon's Medicine. For more information about the story in the medicine, Mrs. Moon's Medicine, and go to our Facebook page, and it's halfway down, and it's a documentary, and the actor's in it with me. He was here. Mrs. Moon's Medicine. Terrence Howard from Hustle and Flow and Empire. He starts the movie out. We take it. Can it be difficult to integrate into normal life? Well, it depends. It depends on a lot of different things. So for most of our people, no. That life just becomes easier. How clean do you have to be to go into it? You can be. There's if you call this number, this 866-936-9446, they're going to tell you what you can eat, how long you have to be off things, all that kind of stuff to do that. Hi, Deborah. You like my video? Thank you for that. You should get down here, Deborah. We can work with you. Get over here. I want everybody to come here, and I want them to see this. Take a look at this. Look at that. That's happy. That's what a happy looks like. That's what you have to do. You have to get here. And I just want to thank you. Please call this number if you have any kinds of questions. And when I'm done, hi Sophie. When I'm done, I'm gonna read these questions. Can you do this? If you had a hip replacement, of course you can do this. That would have nothing to do with it. There's people to help you. Deborah's coming June 17th. I'll see you here. And one is dislocated. We'll be okay with that. We'll be okay with that. But please call this number. Hi Sophie. Call this number and ask the questions. And I'm going to answer. You fly into Liberia. And then Tracy, where are you coming from? Let's see. Loved hearing about your story in the new doc. Can't wait to. Hey, and then one other thing. On February 18th, I have a book coming out called "Shit the Moon Said," and it's about what happens here, and it's fantastic. This is a really good book. I'm saying that because it's my book, but it's good. And Sophie, we can't wait to see it. We can't wait to see it. But my wife Brandy and I are going to answer these questions, and I want to thank you so much, Therese. Like, what's it called? Ashland?
Ashland.
Ashland, Oregon is not ready for you. This new you're going to go back and we're killing Ashland. And so I want to thank you so much for having the nerve and the guts to do this thing and to face yourself and to be such a trooper. And so you're so wonderful.
I would have never done that before.
You've never done that before.
I would have not
and coming here, you mean this part?
Right.
Facebook Live?
Right.
This is a new her for doing this, So please, everybody who's out there, please come here and go through this thing with us. It'll be something you won't forget for the rest of your life, We love you guys. Thank you so much. May God bless you and hold you and keep you this week. We have about 70 people checking in between today and tomorrow. And it'll be, hey Kimberly, how are you, sweetheart? It's going to be a wild week, and as each one is, and I just want to tell you thank you. And listen, if you're having trouble with your life, if you're having trouble and you don't know what to do, leave yourself alone. Because you just leave yourself alone and try to get here. and we'll do the help. I have good news for all of the people who are afraid of the medicine or can't physically, yeah, absolutely cures depression, Jeannie, but who can't do the medicine because they have a physical ailment or something that's precluding them. We started a breathwork program. That's 100% breathwork, where you don't have to do the medicine. And I think that starts in June. Our first sessions in June, and we're going to be doing one a week, one a month for the people that can't do the medicine. And I just want to thank you guys again and tell you that we're here and we want you to be here. And tell Ashlyn Oregon to beware. She's coming back and she's going to rip it up. So I thank you. I love you. God hold you. God bless you. And we'll talk to you next week. And thank you so much, Therese. You're beautiful.
You're welcome.
Hi, guys.